The first example of the digital teaching and learning technologies that have been applied in my subject area will focus on reading assessments created for the GCSE English Language Moodle site. These reading assessments form part of the redevelopment of the GCSE English Language VLE in line with the new curriculum that came into effect in 2016-17 and the flipped learning approach used within our department. Based on extensive evaluations of various platforms and apps, such as Go, Conquer and Nearpod, the decision was made to further develop Moodle as it is more cost-effective and provides continuity with current practice within our team. The focus here was on developing learners' knowledge and comprehension of subject terminology and developing their reading to support exam preparation and the college-wide literacy strategy, to be done independently outside of the classroom as homework. The reading assessments have been created with exam-style text with questions based on the structure of the AQA GCSE English Language exam papers, specifically questions 1 to 4 that assess reading skills. The approach has several benefits for both students and staff. It gets students reading substantive text similar to what they will encounter in the exams. It promotes students' technological literacy and utilises the hardware they use. Students can be flexible with how and where they learn, complete and work in their own time in their preferred spaces and at their own pace. And it also supports independent learning. In terms of staff, the blended flipped learning approach enables us to dedicate more class time to higher order skills such as analysis and evaluation. It also supports the management and administration of homework, giving the team more time to focus on teaching and learning. The use of bespoke Moodle assessments also facilitates formative assessment. And the assessments and quizzes provide a wealth of data that supports tracking, progress, differentiated feedback, and enables us to make targeted interventions if necessary. The Paper 1 reading assessments are comprised of 40 questions over 2 texts. The students read one text, answer a series of 20 questions, read the second text, and answer another series of 20 questions. The Paper 2 reading assessments are based across 2 texts, 20 questions in total. But here, just like the Paper 2 exam, questions 17 to 20 have a comparative element, just like questions 2 and question 4 of the actual exam. So here is the reconstructed GCSE English Language Moodle site. And here is an example of one of the knowledge and comprehension assessments that were created at the beginning of the 2016-17 academic year. In this case, multiple choice questions of word classes and figurative techniques. However, since working with the OTTP and trying to support students' reading and comprehension skills more effectively, new assessments were created and implemented at the start of this academic year. For example, here we have a reading text embedded into the assessment and then a series of questions that follow. Another of the reasons to continue to use Moodle to support this was also the variety of question format it gives us. And for example, here we have a drop-down format and also a drag and drop gap fill format. We've also tried different formats for the assessments themselves, for example, the embedded version here, but also having the text separate to the assessments. Here we've got a series of questions, and then here we've got the separate text, and a student can use it in a split screen methodology, as you can see here. Also working for the OTTP has enabled me to embed Microsoft Forms to further the variety of assessments students have. And here's an example. And furthermore, we can also see here we've got audio-visual materials built in to the assessment. Now, crucially, one of the main reasons for continuing to use Moodle is the wealth of data it provides us. Here we've got an individual student's gradebook, which provides us with a brief summary of the assessments that they have completed and also how well they've done in the scores they've achieved. Also, we can see how individual students perform on individual assessments. We can see how long they've spent on an assessment, and we can also see which questions they've got right and which ones they've got wrong. And because the assessments follow a uniform format that follow the structure of the 2 exam papers that they will sit in the summer, we can see here, for example, these questions here that the students got wrong are language feature terminology. So we can target the field, we can provide differentiated support to help students work on the areas that they need to improve on. So, in terms of next steps, students will be surveyed to collect feedback on the different formats used for the online reading assessments. A more 19th century text will be used for further reading assessments. This way, we'll be able to provide more familiarity with these rather challenging texts for the students.